Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today I have the sweetest little sailor with me and we are going to show you how to make a mermaid out of the Dollar Tree mermaid tail wreath form. Leah, you ready to get started? Let's go. Here's what I'm going to use for this mermaid tail wreath. Starting off with some Deco mesh that's 10 inches by 10 yards. You don't have to use one roll. You can actually go through your leftovers, and if you have enough to combine and make the colors look nice, you can definitely do this. I'm going to be using this for the actual tail, but maybe you can do a cascading where it's going from darker to lighter or something like that. You could definitely do that. Then I'm going to use this beautiful Deco mesh that is left over from another project, and here I have the Aqua that will match our actual tail, and then a little bit of a peach to give it a little contrast, and this I'm going to use for the tail and the top of the wreath. It's going to look so pretty. Next, you're going to need some pipe cleaners. Those are going to be hidden, so it really doesn't matter what color you use. I am going to use some Floral Wire. For decor, I'm going to use one of these silver dollars, and of course a metal mermaid tail wreath form from the Dollar Tree. I really hope that you can get a hold of one if you plan on making it. I'm using some pipe cleaners from the Dollar Tree. These are 12 inches, and you can either cut them in half, which would make them 6 inches, but for this project I thought 4 inches is more than enough. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. After cutting it in 1/3, I'm going to fold it in half so we get the little V. I like doing this because I feel like it's easy just to grab and put it on your petal or whatever you're doing. I'm going to first make sure that my edge is nice and clean. You can use a heating tool to do this or a rotary cutter. For this project, it's important to keep your Deco mesh 10 inches by 10 inches because we're going to be folding it. For my second roll of Deco mesh, I'm cutting 6 pieces. If I have any left over at the end, I can definitely use that, but I want to make sure that I have enough for the top of the wreath because I can definitely add some other Deco mesh in the tail and mix it in. For now, I'm just going to do 6, and then we're going to get started on making our little petals. I wanted to mention that after cutting all the Deco mesh for the actual tail, I'm going to keep 6 of these on the side just in case I want to use them for the tail. Now let's make the petals. What we're going to do first is go corner to corner, and then I like to put them on the side like this. Then about 2.5 inches from the corner, I'm going to pinch, just like that. So I'm going to straighten out this side, and about 3 inches from the tip, I'm going to make a little fold. After I make my fold, I'm just going to crunch it in and squeeze it in to the center. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to overlay the edges, make sure it's nice and straight. Then about 3 inches from the tip, fold in, and then I'm going to bring this in towards the center, and the petal makes itself. As you can see, it's almost like a little cup, and I decided to use this method because it kind of does look like a scale, doesn't it? To bring it together, you can use a pipe cleaner, one of those little rubber bands, or a zip tie. Since I'm using a pipe cleaner, I need to decide which way I want my petal to go, and I want the scale to be on top, so that is where I'm going to put my pipe cleaner, and then 2 twists in the back. As far as the tails, I'm not going to be cutting them off because as I'm overlaying the petals, the tails are going to act as my little background filler. I'm just going to leave them as is. My supervisor is here watching me and can't figure out where he wants to sit. Let's make another one, corner to corner, and then turn. Now I'm just going to line up those edges, and about 3 inches in, I'm going to do a pinch right in the center. Then I'm going to line up one side, 3 inches from the tip, going to make a fold, and then I'm going to bring both ends together. Same thing on this side. Make sure both layers are overlapping nicely. About 3 inches from the tip, make the fold, but you don't have to. Just eye it. Just fold that little side. And now about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the edge, I'm bringing it together towards the center. Look at this, nice and smooth. And I'm coming in with my pipe cleaner from the cupped part, from the smooth end. because that's how I'm going to lay it on my wreath form. I have all the petals made, and here is the tail. I'm going to start with the body portion of the tail, and I'm not going to put any on this part right here because we need to attach the tails here. So I'm going to start right here, and we're going to kind of build it up as we go along. Starting on this corner, I'm going to put one, and I'm just twisting it in place. And then put some on the wave itself at the bottom. Put one on this corner, and I'm just going to start filling it in. Next one I'm going to put on the corner here. And when you put the ones on the corner, make sure that you go around all the wiring, meaning on the edge and on the wave itself. This is going to keep it from wobbling into the back. I'm absolutely loving how this is turning out. It is so adorable and so full. Look at this from the side. It's filling in nicely. I'm so in love with this wreath. For now, I'm just going to continue filling this in, and then I'll let you know how many of the petals I used in each row. My 30 petals are on, so beautiful. And here are the numbers for a total of 30 petals. We have 3 at the very bottom, then 5, 7, 7, and 8 on this very last row. Next, we're going to do the top of the mermaid tail. I'm going to grab some floral wire. This one is from the Dollar Tree. So I cut off about 24 inches and folded in half. I'm going to connect it on the corner because the corner kind of has points sticking out. I do want to make sure that this is not going to move anywhere. So I'm twisting it around this corner on this side and on this side, on both sides, so that it is locked in place and is not going to go anywhere. Now I know I have something that is not going to twist, not going to go anywhere. I want this to be solid. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Now that I have floral wires attached on both sides, we are ready to bring in the other Deco mesh. First thing I'm doing is just gathering my Deco mesh about 2 inches in as usual. Since I want my Deco mesh to loop out, I'm going to first tie the tail this way towards the inside. And the reason I'm using a floral wire is because I'm going to have an easier time hiding the floral wire than the pipe cleaner in this situation. I'm basically making a big old loop and just play it by ear, just covering things up, but give it room because we're going to squeeze this part in. So let it bubble up just a little bit. Now that I've done that, I'm going to make another bubble, and you can make as many bubbles as you would like. I would make the bubbles about 12 to 14 inches. Don't be stingy on Deco mesh here because this is an important part to cover up all of these tails. Give it a nice strong twist, and then I'm going to twist it at the end and bring it back. I ended up making 4 bubbles until I felt secure that it's going to hold nicely. Gathering at the end. And the end of my Deco mesh, I need to bring inside. With my wires right here, I'm going to give it a few nice twists. Then I'm going to put the tail along the edge right here along the top, and then twist my wires to have it in place. And also it's a nice way to get the wires hidden. On this side, I'm going to just twist the wires on the top row. I have my 4 loops. I'm going to make sure that all of the tails are underneath my first loop because we want to make sure this is nice and neat. I'm grabbing another piece of floral wire. I'm going to fold it in half also. So find my center and then bring it together, but not too tight. And try to do it from the bottom. The wire that I'm going to be attaching over here is going to go from this wave. It's the center wave on top to here. So basically this is where the wire is going to go. And that way this top part is not going to fall off this way, and it's going to keep those tails in place. So first I'm going to find my center wave. I'm going to go right there, and then there you go. And that way, if you have anything right here that's sticking out, we can cover it with this. And now slowly I'm going to just bring everything together and give it a few twists on top. And I'm securing the wire to the wave. Aww, look how cute this looks. For the tail, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our Deco mesh pieces that are 10 by 10. We're going to grab each corner and just pull it. Where you find the center, Just going to fold that in half. I'm going to use the zip tie because I want the tip to be as short as possible. And this one's about 1/2 inch. And we're going to attach it right there. So let's make another one. Same thing, we're going to pull it to the sides, fold it in half, and about 1/2 inch in, going to put a zip tie. Let's cut that off. Grabbing a pipe cleaner, I'm going to twist it underneath my zip tie. That way we can attach it however we want. I'm going to do 4 long ones with my second deco mesh. And since we do have some left over, I'm going to do 2 of these. Let's start by attaching our second deco mesh. And here on the back, I'm going to attach it to this corner. So make sure that your pipe cleaners go over to the side, back and forth until you know it's not going to go up, it's not going to go down, it's nice and secure. And that's why pipe cleaners are kind of nice to use for this, because you can do whatever you need to. We have a little special guest, little appearance by Leo. Next, I'm using the Aqua one, just putting it right on there. And then another one, the second deco mesh. Next, I'm going to put another one with the second deco mesh. And then, of course, the other side. This tail is turning out a little fuller than I expected. So I'm going to make another one. Let's zip tie it, pipe cleaner. And I'm going to put it on the first wave. And the reason I did that is to kind of blend everything in and cover the tips right here. I'm going to make 2 more with the green ones. With the tail, you can definitely do whatever you want, and you can make it longer, shorter. I decided that I want some kind of sticking out here. You know, you've seen those mermaid tails. They're so beautiful, and they have the edges at the ends. They're not flat. They're usually a little lower on the sides. So that is what I'm going to do with a few more of these, then 2 more using our second deco mesh. In order to hide the tips, I'm going to go on the second row, and I'm going to end up hot gluing these in place. So just do one, then the other, and then we're going to see where we want them from the front. Going to do the same thing on this side. Let me just hot glue this in. I'm hot gluing the bottom one about 1 inch from the bottom, and then about 2 inches here, and I'm just hot gluing that in place. And I'm going to let this cool. You can obviously cover the back if you are selling this piece. To hang it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath wave number 1, 2 from the top and just tie that in. And then I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to measure off for it not to be too long. For the final touch, I'm grabbing a silver dollar and I'm going to hot glue it in place just like this. Lots of hot glue right in there. I hope you enjoyed this mermaid wreath tutorial. I thought it turned out so super adorable, and of course I had Leo to help me throughout the video, as you saw. For more wreath tutorials right now, we have chosen 2 videos for you to watch right here. Go ahead and click on one of them and enjoy. With that being said, we are going to say bye-bye and have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye everyone. Mwah. Mwah.